guests, colleagues and friends, I would like to join my Spanish colleagues in welcome you in the EurOCEAN 2023 today. This conference here in Vigo, and Vigo is in Galicia, as far as I remember. And it's wonderful to see so many people attending today. For us, it's a very important event. This morning, I have to say that I speak on behalf of the 37 members of the organization European Marine Board, and we represent almost 10,000 scientists and technicians, and they are from 18 European countries. We are the European Marine Board, a leading European think tank, and we especially in marine science policy. We develop marine research foresight and translate it into clear policy recommendation. As such, we periodically organize this conference, EurOCEAN, which is a science policy conference. And the idea is to highlight the main knowledge gap that prevent us from living within our ocean boundaries. During EurOCEAN 2019, we launched the European Marine Board flagship publication, Navigating the Future #5. And I have to say, this is a very important document. This is our vision document, and it is a way how marine science can contribute to developing a sustainable future. We are currently working on a new one, the Navigating the Future #6. So after the 5 is a #6. So as far as I can count well, and it should be launched on the next spring. I hope so, and I think it will be an important document, and it will focus especially on how the ocean fits into the wider Earth system. It will describe the marine science needed to understand the importance of the ocean for climate, fresh water, community, biodiversity, and people. Since 2019, the wider ocean community has set ambitious objectives to be achieved by 2030. Everybody knows the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030, 17 of them. They will be very difficult to achieve. But among these, and for the ocean, we have, of course, the SDG 14. But I will say that among the SDG, 60% of them concern the ocean. Food, energy, health, climate, all of these concern the ocean. And for this, we need partnership. I will come back. And especially, we have the UN Decade for Ocean Science for Sustainable Development. And the Ocean Decades aim to identify, generate, and use critical ocean knowledge to manage ocean sustainability. And at the European level, as we are called the European Marine Board, I will go and say that we have this mission, this European Union mission to restore our ocean and waters, and this aim to play a role in achieving climate neutrality and restoring nature. So important goals where the European Marine Board is playing a role in implementing these initiatives. This is, you will see, highlighted in the leaflet you receive with your welcoming pack. So we are now approaching 2025. I hope I will survive until there. So there's still 1.5 years to go there. It will be the middle of the decade. And as we can see on the website of the Mission Charter and the Ocean Decade Action, many innovative solutions are being created, but some questions remains. Are we working together? Are we working together? That's a big question. I'm not sure at the moment. Are we speaking with one voice to ensure that ocean knowledge underpins efforts to achieve climate neutrality, reduce pollution, and restore nature? So during the next 2 days of this conference, we will have the opportunity to discuss these questions and reiterate how marine science is essential to sustainable development. As a community of marine scientists, we have a role in contributing to societal needs. Therefore, at the end of tomorrow, the co-organizers of this conference will sign the Vigo Declaration. It is our call to action to achieve the ocean we want for the future we need. So with that, I would like to thank the co-organizer of this conference. So as you have noticed, with my very nice English accent, you probably guess where I'm coming from. So I'll let you know. I will ask questions at the end to see if the people know which country I'm coming from with my accent. So sorry for some of the mistakes. So without that, with the co-organizer, I would like to thank. We wouldn't have been able to achieve this conference and to be able to have so many people here. So I would like to thank first the Institute of Marine Research of the Spanish National Research Council here in Vigo. They have been supporting this wonderful venue with its beautiful views on the estuary. They are one of the main marine research centers on the Iberian Peninsula, and they are focusing especially on the Atlantic, but not only, and also in the Mediterranean, but also responding to local concerns. I would like to thank also IEO, the Spanish Institute of Oceanography, one of our members, and the Spanish National Research Council, who ensure that this event could have taken place under the Spanish Presidency of the Council of the European Union. Thank you very much for that. IEO has more than 100 years experience in multidisciplinary oceanographic research and has here in Vigo one of their 9 coastal oceanographic centers. I would like to thank also our Vice Chair, Rosa Fernandez, and their colleagues from the Technology Center of the Sea, CETMAR, who have been instrumental in bringing this event to Vigo. They have been an invaluable local organizer and are making sure that everything is running smoothly behind the scene. Thank you, CETMAR. Thank you, Paloma. CETMAR is a public foundation that encourages innovation and environmental, social, and economic sustainability in the marine environment. I would like also to thank another important partner, the LC Ocean and Sea units of the Directorate General for Research and Innovation of the European Commission, who co-leads the mission Ocean. And unfortunately, John Bell is not able to join and to be present here, but he will provide a video message just after my long speech of presentations. For this iteration of the EurOCEAN conference, the European Marine Board decided that we should practice what we preach. Practice what we preach. That means speak with one voice. So we have to work together. So we have the pleasure to work together with our sister organization to realize this conference. This includes the Joint Programming Initiative Oceans. It's a pan-European intergovernmental platform bringing together national strategy and priority for marine and maritime research. So GPI, it's known as JPI Oceans. We like to thank also EuroMarine, who's there as a co-organizer, the European Marine Research Network, a network of marine organizations and research institutes that facilitate and fund training, networking, and research. EuroGOOS, also, people know the European component of GOOS, the Global Ocean Observing System, an association of organizations that enhance cooperation and promote the benefits of operational oceanography for marine and maritime end users. And at last, EurOCEAN, eponym name of this conference, but it's the European Center for Information on Marine Science and Technology. It's an organization also that supports ocean science and technology and foster information, interaction, and innovation. I also want to thank some specific financial sponsors. I think if we are here, we have to thank them for being there. So together with the European Commission, CETMAR, so sorry for the pronunciation, so I'm sure it's not that right pronunciation, but anyway, it's a Spanish association of wholesalers, importers, exporters, and manufacturers of fish products and aquaculture, and they are providing the delicious local seafood products that we will consume. So I'm waiting for that. And I would like to thank also AMFACO, the business organization of the fish and shellfish canning industry, and they will provide each speaker with a delicacy to thank them for their contribution. I don't know if I'm considered as a speaker, so I hope that I will receive this delicacy. So, and the center, I would like to thank the Center for Marine Research of the University of Vigo and the Campus do Mar, who are sponsoring the digital exhibition you will see during the break in the break area. I would like to thank also, sorry for the pronunciation, I don't know how to pronounce the X in Spanish, so Xunta de Galicia, I think it's completely wrong, but I will learn that. Xunta de Galicia, the regional government of Galicia will host us tonight at the Sea Museum. And I'm eager to be there very soon also. And I would like to acknowledge the financial support by the European Union Innovation Action, EurOCEAN, and EcoScope. And also one of our members, the Marine Institute of Ireland. Finally, this conference would not have been possible without the hard work of the UMB Secretariat, and especially our Spanish member of the Secretariat. Nobody is able to pronounce his name if you are not Spanish, is a way. Angel, with the. So thank you, Angel Muniz Pinera. He has been working diligently during these past 2 years to make it happen, and thank you very much. Muchas gracias, señor. Para todos. Now, a few housekeeping notes. So this is important. So this session will have English-Spanish interpretation. Thank you to the interpreter. Thank you. So please make sure you have your headphone. If you cannot understand Spanish, I will use headphone because you speak too fast in Spanish. So I'm sorry about that to understand this. And you have to return the headphone to at the end of this session. After the rest is only in translation for this session. Please be considerate and keep your mobile phone in silent mode. Please, yeah, I see that the people started to do that. Please do so throughout the conference and arrive on time for the next session. I know there will be a lot of friends. The coffee break is nice, but please be on time at the session. After every session, each session will have the speaker to stay on the platform for a photo, a picture. It's important for the way we see the European Marine Board. And at the coffee breaks and lunches, there will be a separate table for people who have food allergy. So please don't go if you don't have food allergy to take the food of the people who had food allergy. So let them alone with that. And normally, if you have informers, you will have the suitable refreshment and food for that. The organizer, I'm not an organizer, so the organizer have the blue lanyard. So if you need anything, please ask the organizer. Don't ask me, I don't know anything. So everything has been prepared by the Secretariat and by Hannah. So you also, it's quite important, there are bathroom outside the room. For the old people like me, we need to go to the bathroom very often. So there is another set in the coffee area. And there is no fire plan, no drill fire planned. So if you hear the fire alarm, it's a real one. So it's not a joke, so don't stay there. Follow the sign to evacuate the building. Okay, finally, I welcome you to this EurOCEAN 2023 conference. It's a unique opportunity for the scientists, policymakers, and stakeholders to discuss the challenges and opportunity in sea and ocean research. In addition, we have a double celebration. The first EurOCEAN took place 30 years ago in 1993, and this is the 10th conference in the series. Happy to be there in Vigo under the Spanish Presidency to celebrate our 10th series of conference. Thank you very much. We have an exceptionally interesting program. I invite you to engage actively in the conference dialogue through the empty chair, which you will see on the stage. I look forward a very interesting, interactive, and productive few days here in Vigo. Thank you very much and welcome you here. And with that is the end of my speech, but not the end of what I have to say. So thank you very much. And now we will go for the first speaker, which is John Bell. He is a director of Healthy Planet from the DG Research and Innovation at the European Commission. He is a deputy mission manager of the European mission, Restore Our Ocean and Waters by 2030, and is leading the European Green Deal Research and Innovation Transition on Climate Change, Ocean and Arctic, Water, Bioeconomy, Food System, Environment and Biodiversity, Circular Economy and Bio-based Systems. So you might understand why he's not able to be there today, because with all that, he has a lot to do. So thank you, John, for providing a video message.
John Bell speaking. I'd like to thank the organisers, the European Marine Board, for your kind invitation to Vigo with its great Celtic heritage, which I personally regret I'm not able to be there with you in person. Let me thank Gilles Lericolet, the chair of the European Marine Board, who has been a great leader and servant of the needs of our ocean and a great European. The role of science is fundamental to understand how we can prevent the climate change that's happening, impacting more on our land, the ocean and our communities. The ocean and sea temperatures have been the warmest this summer since records began. The disastrous consequences of fires, floods, heat waves and droughts have been painfully felt across our continent. The state of the ocean will determine much of the future of Europe. We are putting in jeopardy the ocean's critical role as the climate regulator if we continue to misuse the ocean's carbon sink capacity as a buffer for atmospheric challenges. To make peace with nature, which is the task of our generation in Europe, we must change the way we treat our ocean and waters and commit through concrete actions towards the well-being of this, our great natural resource. In this great decade of decision, whereby 2030 we need to have a sea change in our approach to nature and our oceans, we need science to give confidence to policymakers, hope to citizens, space for innovation and respite to nature. The European Commission has launched the mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters with the goal of restoring the health of the interconnected system of seas, coasts, rivers and lakes. And we welcome the involvement and engagement in this process of many of you. Here we have three mission objectives: protecting and restoring marine and freshwater biodiversity, preventing and eliminating pollution, and making the blue economy zero emission and circular. Through what we call lighthouses in the European seas and river basins, the mission is creating frameworks for cooperation at basin level and hubs for the development and deployment of innovative technological, social, business and governance solutions. They now have been launched in the Baltic and North Sea, in the Atlantic Arctic, in the Danube Black Sea coast and in the Mediterranean Sea. In each sea basin, we're working with our partners to demonstrate real progress in one specific objective of the mission. To achieve our mission's objectives, we need science and we need you, the scientific community. Through our research and innovation programs, Horizon 2020 and now Horizon Europe, the Commission has financed 333 projects in Spain, strictly linked to the mission, with an overall EU funding of 340 million euros. This portfolio of different projects produces the knowledge, the technology, and the much needed innovation to protect marine biodiversity and freshwater resources, to fight pollution, and to use the ocean and waters sustainably. Our host country today, Spain, is coordinating several of the EU mission projects, such as IIM-CSIC for innovative solutions for Mediterranean ecosystems remediation via monitoring and decontamination from chemical pollution. ProBlue for the promotion of education on blue sustainability. Effective for protection and restoration solutions for degraded coastal and marine habitats. And Circular, the circular solutions for fishing gears. Spain is also playing a very important role within the Atlantic maritime strategy by boosting to a sustainable maritime economy that can create jobs and livelihoods where people want to live and work. Moreover, Barcelona, of course, will host the 2024 UN Ocean Decade Conference to celebrate achievements and set joint priorities for the future of the decade. While science and innovation will deliver important solutions, it is not enough to reach the ambitious objectives of the Mission Ocean. As we're moving into the mid-2020s, we need to shift from demonstration to large-scale deployment of solutions to restore our ocean and waters across Europe. From the EU, we're mobilising other programmes such as Blue Invest, the European Solidarity Corps, the Recovery and Resilience Facility, and we're working with the European Investment Bank to support the shift towards deployment. We know what we need to do, but we need everyone on board to make it happen. All actors, local authorities, citizens, politicians, investors, philanthropists, must become active players in this process. We therefore need you, the scientific community across Europe, to lead this engagement, to work with your cities and regions, your local municipalities, businesses and citizens to ensure that your knowledge and your innovation leads to real action on the ground and in our seas. Under the Mission Charter, research organisations, member states, civil society have already pledged more than 500 actions, mobilising over 4 billion euros to reach the mission objectives. Among them, the co-organisers such as the European Maritime Board, JPI Oceans, EuroMarine, and the Instituto de Ciencias del Mar, CSIC, are key actors. We are clearly not running out of ideas, but we are running out of time to protect and save our oceans and waters. We need the scientists across Europe to lead the way and join forces with all stakeholders to make real change in places where our people live and work. So let's save the health of our blue planet together, for us and for the future generations upon whom they will depend. And that makes sure that this decade is not our last chance, it is the opening chapter in a great blue enlightenment. Muchas gracias, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John. And yeah, we need all of you for this work in decades, as we say. So I would like to invite the next speaker. So it's Ms. Nuña Rodriguez. So I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Who is Municipal Conseller for Environment of the city. From the city of Vigo. Her speech will be in Spanish. So, muchas gracias.
Nada. Hola, muy buenos días, señor consejero, representante del Ministerio, representantes de otras instituciones de Vigo que aquí están representadas, asistentes a esta conferencia y bueno, y a los organizadores que han contado con Vigo para venir aquí a celebrar esta reunión, ¿verdad? Quiero darles la bienvenida a todos y desde el Concello de Vigo celebramos y nos alegramos que esta reunión tenga aquí en nuestra ciudad. Además, son muchas las razones que justifican que así sea, y por citar solo alguna de ellas, Vigo es sin duda la capital de la pesca europea. También tenemos la sede de la Agencia Europea de Control de Pesca, que está aquí también ubicada en nuestra ciudad, y también la Mesa de la Ciencia, que como todos saben es un grupo de trabajo permanente y consultivo para el debate y asesoramiento en materia tecnológica de políticas de la pesca. También aquí su sede en Vigo. En Vigo, hace pocos meses, se celebró la reunión informal de todos los ministros de la Unión Europea, coincidiendo con la presidencia de turno de España. Y recientemente, hace unos días, hemos celebrado también la feria de CETMAR, que para los que no tenéis conocimiento es una gran feria que se realiza a nivel español de la Asociación de Mayoristas, Importadores, Exportadores y Transformadores de Productos de la Pesca y la Acuicultura. FAO celebró en nuestra ciudad el 11º Congreso Internacional, poniendo el foco en los productos del mar por su contribución a una mejor producción, nutrición y medio ambiente. Y por no extenderme en todos los atributos que tenemos en Vigo, mucho más, hace solo un mes también recordaros que acogimos la cumbre de la NAFO. Creo que son sobradas razones para acoger ahora esta conferencia sobre la restauración de los océanos y sobre el futuro de la ciencia marina, para acoger al mundo científico que debe ser quien tiene que guiarnos para conseguir unos océanos con un uso sostenible. Desde el Concello de Vigo siempre hemos defendido la sostenibilidad de nuestra pesca y nuestros océanos, una sostenibilidad que debe tener siempre el enfoque económico, el social y, por supuesto, el medioambiental. Y también defendemos que la ciencia tiene que ser la herramienta fundamental en la toma de decisiones en materia de gestión pesquera y resulta imprescindible contar con un conocimiento exhaustivo y en profundidad de la situación de los mares y de los océanos, así como de las oportunidades que ofrecen los avances tecnológicos. Por eso os estamos muy agradecidos de que estéis hoy aquí, bueno, hoy y mañana. Estamos en vuestras manos porque debéis dar respuesta a muchos retos a los que tenemos que enfrentarnos. Vuestra tarea no es fácil, pero estamos seguros que el ambiente de la ciudad os ayudará. Y no olvidéis que si salís a esta terraza maravillosa que tenéis aquí en el Auditorio Mar de Vigo, tenéis las Islas Cíes enfrente, donde con vuestra ayuda también queremos que sea patrimonio de la humanidad. Y no quiero cerrar esta presentación y esta bienvenida a Vigo sin disculparme porque soy economista, no soy científica como vosotros, pero bueno, creo que el conjunto de toda la sociedad y de todo el ambiente que tenemos aquí en este día pues nos podrán llevar a todo lo mejor. Pasarlo bien y espero que volváis a Vigo en otra ocasión. Gracias.
Muchas gracias, señora Núñez. The next talk will be given by Señor Alfonso Vilares Bermúdez, who is a Conseller del Mar. He holds a degree in veterinary medicine from the University de Santiago de Compostela, and he worked as a veterinarian, so congratulations. He was mayor of Cervo, famous for his handmade porcelain of Sargados. And since 2023, he is a regional minister of the sea from the Junta de Galicia. Muchas gracias, señor. The floor is yours.
Bueno, pues muy buenos días a todos, muy buenos días a todos. Realmente es un honor estar aquí en Vigo, en Galicia. En mi caso, bueno, realmente también fue un honor poder haber nacido, en mi caso, en un pueblo pequeño, en la costa de Lugo. Igual en los sitios más pequeños es donde hay más contacto y podemos tener más contacto con la naturaleza. Y realmente es mi pasión, estar cerca del campo, del aire. Como hablaba uno de los intervinientes antes, no solamente de los océanos, yo creo que el contacto del planeta Tierra mar y ríos es, bueno, yo creo que es todo todo uno que tenemos que preservar. Por eso igual ese sitio en donde nací me hizo tener después mi vocación como, bueno, como veterinario. Ejercí como veterinario clínico 11 años y pude disfrutar en esos años de la vida en el campo, al lado de los animales, al lado de las personas, en pueblos pequeños, poder disfrutar del aire, poder disfrutar del campo, poder disfrutar de la vida. Creo que eso es un concepto pues, a tener en cuenta. Como concepto a tener en cuenta la forma de vida que en mi caso tuve, una forma de vida en los años 70 y pico, 80, en donde ahora está muy en boga el concepto de la economía circular, que eso era lo que practicábamos en Galicia, en casi todas las casas de Galicia, esa economía circular, en donde no se desaprovechaba ni un solo alimento ni un solo producto era desechado, todo lo aprovechábamos al máximo, evidentemente porque los tiempos eran tiempos pues con más escasez o no con tanta bonanza económica. Ese aprendizaje seguramente fue el que es algo a tener en cuenta para lo que estamos hablando ahora. Tuve también la suerte de estar de alcalde de mi pueblo, es algo que realmente también pues es lo más bonito, poder estar al lado de tus vecinos e intentar echar una mano. Eso también me posibilitó estar como representante y presidente de la Comisión de Medio Ambiente de la Federación Española de Municipios y Provincias durante 4 años. Y hablando de esto, hablando del medio ambiente y de la preservación de este planeta, que solamente tenemos un planeta y no hay dos, hay uno. El humano realmente somos la evolución más fuerte del ADN. El ADN realmente es muy agresivo y nosotros como humanos a veces tenemos que controlar esos instintos y realmente somos la especie que debemos de controlarla. Somos 9.000 millones de personas en el planeta, somos muchos, es cierto, pero tenemos que intentar hacer lo posible para que este planeta aguante y aguante durante muchísimas generaciones. Yo creo que los estudios nos dicen, evidentemente, que la población humana, más del 70% de la población humana, en los años 2050, por ahí, se estudia que estará en grandes núcleos de población. Seguramente porque se busca la eficiencia, se busca que las personas tengamos en esos espacios todos concentrados pues el mayor número de servicios posibles. Bueno, pues es así. Pues seguramente ese devenir va a ser difícil cambiarlo y vamos a tener que ir hacia ese movimiento. Pero yo considero que Galicia es una forma donde podemos ver la vida, un camino y el camino que debemos de destinarnos en el futuro. Galicia es de las regiones españolas la región que tiene más núcleos de población. Más de la mitad de los núcleos de población de España están en Galicia. El hecho de poder vivir en nuestro territorio, bien sean zonas costeras, en zonas de interior, es la mejor forma de volver a aprovechar e intentar hacer que la economía circular funcione. Por eso que para mí es fundamental y es una felicidad vivir en una región como esta. Para mí Galicia es un sitio en donde podemos ver por dónde igual podríamos ir y dónde podría ir el futuro de Europa y del planeta. Desde la Xunta de Galicia aprobamos en el mes pasado un plan de cultura marítimo de Galicia. Un plan de cultura marítimo Galicia que es pionero en Europa, un plan en donde donde ponemos en valor todo nuestro patrimonio litoral. Son 1.659 kilómetros de costa del litoral que tiene Galicia. Muchísimos pueblos, muchísimas poblaciones pequeñas, 122 puertos, más los 6 mayores de las grandes ciudades, 128 en total, que realmente lo que tenemos que hacer es que esos puertos sigan teniendo vida, que sigamos, que la gente pueda tener oportunidad de poder vivir y poder tener esos servicios que hay en las grandes ciudades, pues en los pueblos pequeños. Tenemos con este plan de cultura marítima, lo que vamos a intentar hacer es poner en valor nuestra idiosincrasia, nuestra forma de ser, nuestra forma de vivir, nuestra forma de entender la vida, como la entendían nuestros pasados y como la entendemos en Galicia. Creemos que es fundamental que nuestro territorio pues, esté repleto de gente, que la gente pueda vivir en todo el territorio y no únicamente que nos concentremos en los grandes espacios. Es un objetivo fundamental de ese plan de cultura marítima de Galicia, intentar que sea esta economía azul del futuro que pueda también encontrar pues, esa forma y podamos encontrar esa forma de vida en todos los pueblos que cada vez, por desgracia, se van deshabitando más y más. Y yo creo que es una acción que debemos de revertir y debemos de revertir urgentemente y también como un objetivo a la hora de preservar el futuro y a la hora de preservar el planeta. Nosotros también en Galicia, en la Xunta de Galicia, en la Consellería del Mar, estamos a hacer esfuerzos en cuanto a los aspectos de investigación y de ciencia. Tenemos unos centros de investigación y de ciencia que son referentes en España y en Europa, bien sea el CETMAR, quien tengo que darle hoy las gracias a Paloma por el desarrollo de esta EurOCEAN que estamos aquí a tener en Vigo. Tenemos el CIMA, tenemos el CETMAR. Tenemos centros de referencia en donde vamos en estos próximos años, vamos a incrementar sus dotaciones, vamos a incrementar pues, todo lo que consideremos y consideren todos los científicos, biólogos y diplomados y licenciados, graduados de ciencia del mar que están en estos centros, lo que ellos nos digan, para intentar poder tener más datos y tener más proyecciones, teniendo en cuenta que hay un cambio climático que está ahí presente y que no podemos tampoco obviar. Y vamos a intentar anticiparnos para sobre todo intentar defender a la pesca de Galicia, a las mujeres, hombres, a la cantidad de familias que viven de la pesca y que tienen que seguir viviendo de la pesca en Galicia de una forma tradicional. La pesca en Galicia, todos nuestros marineros, todo nuestro sector del mar, siempre ejercieron un trabajo en el mar que es muy respetuoso y siempre fue muy respetuoso, porque al fin y al cabo es su forma de vida, la forma de vida de sus familias y la forma de vida de sus familias futuras. Por lo tanto, es una forma de vida que también forma parte de nuestra forma de ser, de la forma de ser de los gallegos y queremos preservarla. Por eso que en cuanto a muchas de las decisiones que tomamos en Europa, tienen que ser decisiones en donde se tengan en cuenta que hay que garantizar la forma de hacer las cosas en Europa, Galicia somos Europa, y de intentar por lo menos que preservemos una soberanía alimentaria donde por lo menos podamos abastecernos nosotros mismos de nuestros productos del mar, productos que son saludables, productos que tienen que formar parte sí o sí de nuestra dieta. No puede ser que más del 50%, casi el 70% de los productos del mar que tomamos o que comemos los europeos vengan de fuera de Europa. Y no lo digo por el hecho únicamente económico, ni mucho menos. Estamos hablando de medio ambiente, estamos hablando de preservar océanos, estamos hablando de preservar nuestro planeta. Lo digo porque nuestra forma de trabajar, la forma de trabajar nuestros marineros, nuestra comunidad, es la mejor forma de preservar también el océano y de preservar nuestro futuro. Yo creo que los europeos tampoco debemos de ser muy ingenuos a la hora de intentar pensar que de hacernos nosotros trampas al solitario, como se puede decir, tenemos que cuidar nuestro futuro, pero también tenemos que tener en cuenta que fuera de nuestras fronteras yo creo que la acción que se hacen, las acciones que se hacen y la pesca que se hace pues no es tan respetuosa, ya no digo con el mar, ya no digo con la sostenibilidad, ya no digo pues con los ecosistemas, ni mucho menos, incluso hasta con las condiciones laborales de las distintas personas que trabajan pues en esas flotas que son y que trabajan fuera de Europa. Sin referirme a ningún país ni ningún continente en concreto, pero creo que más o menos podemos entendernos todos. Creo que tenemos mucho trabajo que hacer, debemos hacerlo de la mano de la investigación, de la ciencia, de nuestra cultura y de nuestro patrimonio. Creo que aquí en Galicia vamos por ese camino, entendemos que es el camino correcto, tenemos que saber que hay que trabajar para un futuro mejor, pero siempre trabajando con muchísimo sentido y con muchísimo corazón, sobre todo. Por eso que bienvenidos a todos a Vigo, bienvenidos a Galicia. Es un honor para nosotros que estéis todos aquí, que disfrutéis de nuestra tierra, de nuestro entorno y que trabajemos sobre todo para un futuro mejor, en donde, bueno, más o menos creo que intentamos desde Galicia ir de la misma línea, de la misma mano que todos vosotros a la hora de intentar trabajar no solamente para el presente, sino para el futuro de las generaciones venideras. Muchas gracias a todos, a toda la organización. Repito, Paloma, muchas gracias por traernos a este evento y nada, bienvenidos a Vigo y bienvenidos a Galicia.
Muchas gracias, Consejero. It's now turn to move to the next speaker. I would like to invite Senor Gonzalo Arevalo, and he is Director General for Research Planning at the Spanish Ministry of Science and Innovation. So we also count of you. So muchas gracias.
Excelentísimo consejero Domar de la Xunta de Galicia, excelentísima concejala de Medio Ambiente del Ayuntamiento de Vigo, distinguished Executive Director and Chair of the European Marine Board, distinguido vicepresidente del CSIC, querido Chema, distinguidas autoridades, señoras y señores. I'm going to start in Spanish, but just it will be this welcome, but then I will switch into English immediately. So you will need to be alive, okay, in order to... Es un verdadero placer y un honor para el Gobierno de España ser anfitrión de esta conferencia como parte de las actividades programadas en el marco de la presidencia española del Consejo de la Unión Europea. En nombre de la ministra de Ciencia e Innovación, Diana Morant, que no puede estar con nosotros esta mañana, me gustaría expresar mi más sincero agradecimiento a todos los organizadores por la amable invitación y la oportunidad de hacer esta intervención durante la sesión de apertura de esta importante conferencia. And now I will switch into English, so you have time to disconnect. Well, allow me to briefly outline the 4 primary goal priorities during the Spanish presidency that are somehow very well connected to the previous interventions. On one hand, one of these global objectives is the industrialization of the EU and guaranteeing its open but also strategic autonomy or commitment to revitalize European industries while at the same time safeguarding our open strategic autonomy. The second great pillar of the Spanish presidency is advancing in the green transition. A detailed focus on advancing the green transition, looking for sustainable practices and environmental responsibility. So also very timely for today. The third pillar of the Spanish presidency is promoting the greater social and economic justice. The pursuit of this greater social and economic justice is a fundamental objective, striving for fairness and inclusivity. And the fourth pillar is strengthening the European unity or commitment to fortifying the European unity, fostering a more integrated and robust European Union. Centered around these 4 global priorities within the realm of the science and innovation, we have devised a tailored approach to our policies, primarily focused on council conclusions that hopefully we hope that they will be approved by the end of the year. These council conclusions go deeper in 3 main areas that also are quite related to this event. The first one is science for the public policy process, knowledge to improve the life of citizens and strengthen the democracy. The second pillar of these conclusions are the regional and the local innovation ecosystems, improving the cooperation and territorial cohesion through investments in research and innovation. And the third pillar of these council conclusions will be a quality leap in research and innovation policies to improve the competitiveness and welfare. In addition, we expect that under the presidency, it is adopted the European Commission recommendation on a European framework to attract and research talent in research and innovation. And this is something that it's really, really important, because even if we have a lot of investments in capabilities, if we don't invest in talent, then we will have a problem. So it's a great initiative that we have. And also we plan to adopt a couple of weeks ago, we have a conference on research infrastructures. And in this conference, we approved also a council conclusions, a declaration on the global dimension and sustainability of research infrastructure. So how, by working together in great research infrastructures, we can have a more formed European Union through research and innovation. As you can see, these priorities are not thematic oriented, but they look to be pertinent and related to the subject you are going to discuss today and tomorrow. On one hand, we acknowledge the pivotal role of science and innovation in supporting policymakers and emphasize the necessity of establishing effective interface between the two. On the other hand, we recognize the transformative potential of research and innovation investment in various sectors. Furthermore, we delve deeper into how research and innovation investments can foster cohesion in both regional but also in national territories. Last, but certainly not least, we underscore the imperative of revising the framework for human capital in the research and innovation, as I refer as a crucial step in maintaining competitiveness in the coming decades. Going directly to the contents of this conference, I would like to acknowledge and give testimony of the long and fruitful cooperation that Spain, through the Spanish Institute of Oceanography, based at the Spanish Research Council, and the Technology Center of the CETMAR, maintains with the European Marine Board. This has been in place now for more than 25 years. We have had a long work together, and we are proud to have joined the EMB and being an active partner in its work program since its foundation. As a result of the remarkable outcomes obtained by the EMB along its trajectory, we are now positioned as a respect and authority voice to speak on behalf of the ocean in Europe. The Global Ocean Science Report, published recently by UNESCO, recognized that when we are talking about ocean, we are talking also about big science. The intellectual and practical challenges coupled with the amalgamation of extensive material and human resources dedicated to the study of ocean, including satellites, bios, research vessels, and the expert human knowledge collectively render marine research one of the most ambitious and demanding scientific and social endeavors currently in progress. The demands and challenges are also big: ecosystem service, ecosystem functioning, overfishing, marine pollution, and other anthropogenic stressors are real concerns of our society, and a must to establish scientific priorities and to guide policymakers in their decision following our Science for Policy priority. We are in a highly crucial transition period of human life. There is no need to say that the effects of the climate change on marine life and ultimately the socio-economic effects are potentially dramatic. There are also huge pressures to develop and exploit coastal marine ecosystems. The importance of coastal and marine ecosystems in maintaining geochemical cycles for the planet are strong arguments for conservation, in addition to other more well-known justifications based on food security or shoreline protection. The decline of coastal and marine ecosystems is therefore a valid cause of concern, and science can inform policymakers to justify the preservation of these critical habitats. The conference program will address these issues based on ecosystem management for fisheries and conservation, pharmaceutical pollution, coastal resilience, and blue carbon, blue economy, digital ocean, and others. During the conference, you will have the opportunity to share new findings, contrast ideas, and discuss the way forward. I would say that discussing are the key usually in this kind of conference. At this point, I am glad to say that this program is perfectly aligned with our priorities in marine science and also with the commitment of the Spanish government with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and the Agenda 2030, which is at the very front of our policies. In this regards, the Spanish Ministry of Science and Innovation, directly and also through the Spanish Research Council, is currently involved in many actions to reinforce our oceanographic capacities and enhance the scientific research. Let me mention briefly the following. On one hand, within the Recovery and Resilience Plan of the European Union, our ministry has identified 8 priorities areas of research, being ocean science one of them. In addition to this end, we developed a new instrument, and we developed this in collaboration with the Spanish regions. That is the so-called planes complementarios. Sorry, it's a Spanish word, but it's a, we can translate it co-programming plans, okay? Where the state and the regions, we do not only co-fund, but we co-program looking towards the vertebration, capacity of research and innovation investments. Another milestone is that very soon the Spanish Institute of Oceanography will open the new building in Malaga, which doubles the space that currently they have. Here in Vigo, the Spanish National Research Council will also inaugurate a new campus for ocean research, where not only CSIC, but also the University of Vigo will enjoy new laboratories and marine research facilities. Fourth, in order to navigate to the future of ocean science in Europe, last July, we launched a new research vessel called Odón de Buen, which is in its final phase of construction in Vigo. Odón de Buen, that it's 80 meters length, is the largest vessel ever built in Spain, and it is expected to be fully operational by mid-2024. And finally, I'm proud to share that with you the announcement made last week by our minister that the Institute of Oceanography will create a new marine laboratory in Valencia. These are examples that demonstrate the commitment of Spain with the scientific research of the ocean and with the oceanographers and with the scientific community as a whole. Many of the recent advances in ocean science are the result of a large-scale international coordinated research policies that later develop into projects. This new trend of associate approaches has opened new opportunities for networking, distributed facilities, interdisciplinary transfer of knowledge and technologies, and particularly for achieving successful results that are cooperative and collective. However, collaboration among European researchers from different fields, including oceanographers, climatologists, and environmental and social scientists, has room to even further be developed. We need you to continue working for achieving a true interdisciplinary and international collaboration that regards the ocean as a part of the whole Earth system. And in this respect, we might remind ourselves that the European Marine Board has an important role to play and that we are part of the AMB, okay? Because sometimes we speak about the international organizations or the European organizations, and we don't feel part of it. No, we are part of it. Bringing new ideas, new modalities of cooperation, enhancing communication, attracting early career scientists, gender balance or inclusiveness are in the core of the EMB vision, and we fully support it. Capturing the importance of good communication policy oriented to give visibility, disseminate capacities, and deliver results is essential in modern science. Therefore, reinforce the communication policy is not an option, it is a need, and there is work to do. So citizens can now not only be aware what we are doing, but also contribute to science. Dear Director, Chair, authorities, ladies and gentlemen, we pledge here today once more the commitment of Spain in support of the European Marine Board program and its important visionary work. I would like to conclude by thanking all the staff of the EMB for your dedication, commitment, and enthusiasm, and I hope that the work since its foundation has been as enjoyable as rewarding for you as it has been for us. I extend my best wishes to all attendants to the conference, hoping it proves to be a stimulating, a thought-provoking gathering. I would also like to extend an invitation to those that you have the opportunity to explore the attraction of this splendid city and of this wonderful region. It is a place where often, as it is my case, when we come, we say, and we go back, we are thinking when we'll be here again. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias, señor Gonzalo Arevalo. So the next speaker will be Señor José María Martel, who is a Vice President for Scientific and Technical Research at the Spanish National Research Council. Muchas gracias, señor.
Buenos días a todos y a todas, distinguished Executive Director and Chair of the European Marine Board, distinguidas autoridades, señores y señoras. On behalf of the Spanish National Research Council, it is my great pleasure to participate in the opening session of the EurOCEAN 2023 conference. The event that we are inaugurating today is the culmination of an intensive, interactive, and long process that has been possible thanks to the participation of many professionals from the European Marine Board, together with the Spanish National Research Council, through the Spanish Institute of Oceanography and the Institute of Marine Research, and also the Technology Center of the Sea, CETMAR. The scientific and organizing committees have worked together for almost 2 years to make this a successful and productive event. The main goal of this conference is to provide an overview of the latest achievements in science and technology applied to oceanography, and also to explore future trends and needs, as well as new tools for management and governance in light of important science policy development, such as the Ocean Decade and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, which will run until 2030, established by the United Nations, seeks to stimulate ocean science and knowledge generation to reverse the decline of the state of the ocean system and catalyze new opportunities to achieve a better understanding of the ocean system, and deliver science-based solutions to achieve the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The Ocean Decade aspires to achieve an ocean which is clean, healthy, and resilient, productive, predictable, safe, accessible, inspiring, and engaging. The Spanish National Research Council is fully committed to achieve all and every single goal. We firmly believe that scientific knowledge should be part of the bigger framework for sustainable development. CSIC is the largest scientific institution in Spain and the 7th public research body worldwide. We are a multidisciplinary organization connecting natural and social science to provide scientific-based advice for the benefit of the society and to address the social, environment, and economic challenges of the 21st century. CSIC's strategic plan includes different activities to place the research of the sea within the framework of the Ocean Decade. Besides, we also link ocean issues to other development and social challenges, such as the threat to human security, blue economy, and other topics, in order to reshape our knowledge, understanding, values, and attitudes to take the future of the planet actively into account. CSIC carries out extensive scientific and technical research in oceanography and fisheries. 6 institutes, in addition to the 8 centers of the Spanish Institute of Oceanography, 50 research groups, and more than 300 permanent researchers whose main fields is ocean science. Examples of these commitments to the research in oceanography is the conference that we are opening today, as well as the Ocean Decade conference that Spain will host in Barcelona next April 2024, under the auspice of the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of the UNESCO and organized by CSIC through the Spanish Institute of Oceanography and the Institute of Sea Science in Barcelona. As the General Director, Mr. Gonzalo Arévalo, has mentioned, CSIC is currently involved in building a new research vessel called Odón de Buen, who was a Spanish naturalist, politician, and publicist, and who founded the Spanish Institute of Oceanography. CSIC and our Ministry of Science and Innovation are providing funds to root ocean science at the core of our mission to maintain a leadership position in the international arena. We share common values with the European Marine Board. Early career scientists, women, and scientific communication are at the top of our priorities. We are glad to realize that these elements have been considered and included in the conference program. We, the European Marine Board and CSIC, are convinced that science must deliver knowledge to the society, adaptation to climate change, and the development of management tools to underpin wise decisions in different economic sectors and to save and improve lives and livelihoods are on our radar screens and at the top of our priorities. If we want to maintain ecosystem services and reverse our environmental footprint, our governments need to react and adapt to this increasing demand of using science and the scientific knowledge to better understand the connections of natural sciences with social and human sciences. We are obliged to connect and manage simultaneously natural and human systems. Our research in oceanography and fisheries allows us to provide knowledge for the sustainability of the marine environment and of fisheries that is essential for the implementation of numerous important European policies and directives, such as the Integrated Maritime Policy, the Marine Strategy Framework Directive, Maritime Spatial Planning, Common Fisheries Policies, and the Natura 2000 Marine Network. In this regard, the Spanish Institute of Oceanography has a long tradition of generating knowledge and providing science for policymaking. It provides a science-based advice for the conservation and management of fisheries. It is responsible to provide the scientific basis for the declaration of fisheries protection zones and marine protection areas. It's also responsible to provide the scientific basis for Spain to achieve good environmental status of its waters according to the Marine Strategy Framework Directive. As mentioned, the demand for scientific and technical advice is unprecedented. It is therefore essential that all the actors concerned, from the scientific community to policymakers and non-governmental organization representatives, commit to settle the synergies for the scientific work needed to adequately tackle these challenges and to discuss what kind of science we need for this purpose. For many of us, there is no choice. Science must be independent and should not be overshadowed by lobbies or sectorial interests. The event that we are opening this morning is an opportunity for us to look forward to ensuring that scientific advice is in support of decision-making. The EurOCEAN 2023 conference will encompass oceanographic, ecological, social, and economic perspectives. It will review leading work that has been carried out while also addressing the pillars for sustainable development. Consequently, it must be seen as a participatory platform to share and exchange information and as a catalyst to galvanize and organize the scientific community with a common interest in a sustainable use of the ocean. With your insight in all these aspects, we will have the opportunity to increase our understanding and knowledge on how the ecosystem in the ocean are changing and among other outcomes. I envision that your expertise will contribute to define the science we need for the future we want, the science that our damaged planet is demanding, to identify action points to manage the oceans better than we are doing today, and to contribute from Europe to develop a global science initiative for ocean stewardship. In summary, the Spanish National Research Council is committed together with the EIB in working for a sustainable marine environment. The sustainability of oceans is the sustainability of our planet. This is the real endeavor of our times, a technical, educational, and cultural challenge. I want to conclude by thanking all of you on behalf of all the sponsoring agencies for your dedication, commitment, and enthusiasm. I hope that all of you attending this conference will have a fruitful and enjoyable stay with us in Vigo. Thank you very much.